Dude, you are not going to believe this. So get this. NFL Films, the guys who make all those awesome football movies, they totally just had their first ever all-women crew working Eagles preseason game. How cool is that? It's been like 60 years and tons of games, and finally, they did it. This one lady, Laura Lehman, she always wanted to be a camera person, but she never got the chance. So she worked her way up in the sales side of NFL Films and then got back into production. But get this. She looked around and realized almost everyone working on the crews was a dude. She was like, whoa, there are hardly any women here, and I don't have much of a shot. So she decided she wanted to help other women get opportunities. She knew they were out there, but it was hard to find them. So she's like, how can we find them? And then how can we make sure they actually succeed? And bam! That's how the NFL Films Women in Film Experience-ship got started. It's been going for 3 years now, and this preseason game was their big moment. The first all-woman crew, like 63 years after NFL Films even started. 8 women worked that Eagles versus Bengals game. This whole thing started as just a one-day workshop, but now it's a 3-day program. It gives women who are already into filmmaking, but maybe not sports, the tools they need to nail it in sports broadcasting. 2 of the women in the program, Anastasia Gonzalez and Mindy Cook, actually came from making documentaries. So the NFL Films camera guys and sound designers totally teach these 13 women how to use all the gear you see during a game. The cameras on the field, the overhead shots, all the sound stuff. They even practice the whole setup and takedown before even looking at football. Anastasia was like, they told us exactly how the job works and showed us all this material and examples of what we'd actually be doing. She said, you don't usually get that kind of detailed info from most jobs. The coolest part of the program was filming a college football game. Then they reviewed all the footage, comparing what they shot to what the pros would have shot. Mindy said that was the most helpful thing all weekend.
And get this, Mindy said since the program ended in April, what really stuck with her is how much NFL Films actually cares about them succeeding. They've got this open door policy where the women can still reach out for advice and help, and Mindy said they really want them to win, which she said is pretty rare in the film biz. Women in film are still a smaller group, especially in sports, but this program is like a lifeline for these women. It connects them with other women who are already making it in the industry. Mindy mentioned she still gets comments like, wow, I've never worked with a woman director of photography before. She remembered when she first started in video, people would walk in and ask where the camera guy was. And she'd be like, that's me. They didn't even think she was the camera person. She feels like it's getting better, but when she wanted to get into sports, she didn't know who to ask or who to connect with in her area. She said without this program, she'd still be sending random emails and trying to get people on the phone just to figure stuff out. In the first year of the program, 2 women even worked on the Super Bowl crew. Some past participants are now working for NFL teams, and others are still with NFL Films. And the women in this current group, they're hoping to do the same, thanks to this trial program that brought them back together to work those preseason games. And get this, Laura Lehman, the one who started it all, she wants to make even more partnerships with teams and give these women even more chances to work and prove themselves. Her original idea was a 5-day program, and she'd love to make it even longer. Scott Carter, who's a big deal over at NFL Films, said something super profound. He said there's going to be some young woman in the crowd watching this game, and she's going to see these women working and think, I want to do that. And that's it. That's the whole point. It sounds corporate, but he says it's totally real. How awesome is that?